Grab a stack of rock with Mike and the Bad Metal Band. Grab a stack of rock and hold on tight as hard as you can. Grab a stack of rock with Mike and the Bad Metal Band. Grab a stack of rock and hold on tight as hard as you can. Grab a stack of rock. Grab a stack of rock.
I can't hear you. You're muted, Mike.
I don't know why it did that. Okay. Take two. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Grab a Stack of Rock on Friday, October 11th with my faithful co-host, Johnny Homework tonight. John, I understand that you want to start the show with a little bit of an announcement.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Mike, and along with a lot of other folks in our little community of music believers and just people on my social media, I see if you can zoom in on this little guy. Let's
Sure
just go.
can.
Let's just kind of do a
Here we
You see
go.
this guy? All right. So this is my great nephew Sammy. Okay. For those of you who have heard me talk about this on social media or in different things, Sammy has been dealing with a dreadful little cancer called AT/RT. No, I don't know the actual full name of it. It's just really long and it's rare. And he just turned 5 about a few days ago. Today was hopefully the last day of chemo for him. And so we hope that this will be the end of chemo. If anything, he will probably have scans, some different checkups and things of that nature. But as far as we know at this point, his chemo treatments are done. So that is a big, huge sigh of relief. This has been a long 2 years journey for my family, and a lot of I've had people all over this globe keeping that little boy in their thoughts and their prayers. And I just wanted to, I don't know how many people are going to actually tune into this thing, but I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family will all say thank you. It just, you don't know. I don't even know how my niece and her husband have been dealing with all this, and even my brother. How do you thank the people that have been caring for him for these last 2 years? It really has been like a super friends team for him. So anyway, that was what I wanted. That was my special announcement that I wanted to start off with, because Mike has really been emotionally invested in this story too. So it's meant a lot to me. So I appreciate that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Well, right from the first befriending of John Clauser, you were posting about Sammy, and you can't help but read. And, it grabs you by the heart. And I'm so happy to hear this news. When you told me you had an announcement to make, I was praying that it was good news. And I'm glad. Thank you, Ash.
God is good, y'all. That's all I can say.
Excuse me. Thank you, Ash. And thank you, Jennifer.
Yes,
and
that's my cousin. That's my cousin, Jenny. Thank you.
I didn't put this comment up during the speech, but Roger said the part of me being muted was the best 30 seconds of the show.
Of course he would say that, Roger.
Thanks, Roger. So tonight we are doing the B section of the CD collections, and we're not doing box sets. So that's going to exclude a lot of Black Sabbath, a lot of Bon Jovi on my part. And I have a lot. I have like 9 stacks. So shall we get started?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay. This might be a long show. We might have to take a mid-show break. We'll see how it goes. But as usual, we like to start with the special guest. So Johnny Homework, Johnny Metal. Let's see. What do you have in the B's?
All right. Well, this is my first section. So yeah, I didn't pull out my Beatles and my Black Sabbath because I figured that's the stuff I have is pretty commonplace. everybody's got all that stuff. The Beatles stuff was all those remasters they did in 2009 or 10 or something like that. So all of that stuff is all
2009.
commonplace. All the Sabbath stuff is all commonplace. So I did not pull any of that out. Figured I'd spend some other time on some other things. So how about we just get a little bad? Let's go a little bad for good. I bet he's got that. Yes. This is a great CD. I really love this CD, even though it sounds, I mean, lyrically it's just so cheesy and stuff. But I mean, this is a really good, a fun CD. Absolutely love this thing. And for those of you who do not know, so here's the band. So the guy holding the globe. So he was on like Different Strokes. I think he was on that show like Up Your Pavement on or something on Nickelodeon or something.
He was in the Terminator.
Yeah,
he played John Connor's best friend.
Yeah, he was in there very briefly. This guy here, Thomas McLaughlin, he was the guitar player kid in the Audience's Listening video for Steve Vai. The drummer, I think this is the drummer.
Yep.
So I think he's currently playing in Avenged Sevenfold these days. I don't know what the bass player has been doing these lately, but anyway, Bad for Good is they do a pretty good version of Phil Lynot's 19. I thought that was a really good version. Okay, I don't want to talk about every single CD because we definitely will be here all night. Okay, so all right, so yeah, Ashley, good one to pick up. So anyway, yeah, Badlands is next up.
You know what? We're not gonna. I'm just gonna.
This might not be a long show.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a lot of doubles here.
I'm just gonna play along. We're not gonna do these twice.
So yeah, for those who don't know, Jakey Lee, after Ozzy kind of after Sharon gave him the boot, he puts this incredible band together with Ray Gillen and Greg Chasin and Eric Singer at first. Really good blues, hard rock, metal, really good band. I kind of started listening to it again. I was like, man, I haven't listened to this in ages. Next up, this little band here called Banshee. So I've got a few albums here. This one's called Taken by Storm, Mind Slave, and The Madness. So these guys, I heard of these guys first, Metal Massacre 8 or 9, and they had a song called We Want You. Great track. These guys kind of have some of that LA power metal sound, but maybe a little bit more on steroid kind of thing. But these guys were a really good band. I really enjoyed listening to them. Great guitar player, good singer. I don't know how many of the guys are still in that band. I don't think the singer is though. All right, next up, Peter Kerr and I talked about him. This is Jimmy Barnes, Body Swerve. So yeah, this was a fun CD to talk about. He was always, Peter Kerr liked it. We had this thing going where we were sending these postcards back and forth to each other. So he'd give me like an Australian band, I'd give him some American band, and we would just talk about them. And Jimmy, this was good. This one was really good. So need to go back and listen to some more of his stuff now. Next up, little Christian metal, Barren Cross. Got a few CDs here. State of Control, and then we have this Hotter Than Hell Live. There's Atomic Arena, and Rock for the King. So these guys kind of have a little bit of a Maiden-like sound. Pretty good band.
Very metal image.
Yes, very, very metal image, especially when you look at that cover, especially.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good band. All right, next up, Jason Becker, Perpetual Burn. This is a classic. Anybody, if you ever wanted to stop playing guitar, just listen to this guy, and you will stop playing guitar quickly. Just listening to this is just ridiculous. What a shame that he contracted ALS. It's a miracle he is still alive. 30 something years later.
Can you hold it up one more time? Can you hold it up again? I just want to point something out, which is the ugly
Yeah.
compact disc digital audio logo right there on the front cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is early days of CD, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So this is yeah. But you know, this was what 1988 when that came out. So yeah. Let's see what's next in this stack here. Okay, so yeah, this will take me to the end of my first stack. So now I know this is going to sound a little weird, but this first thing here is a band called The Remnant. But there's a reason why I had this in the B section. So this is like a little 3-song demo they did for some other stuff. They would then become a band called Becoming the Archetype. Let me see if I can find here we go. This is a CD that has a little bit more of a better name here. So Becoming the Archetype. These guys kind of have a this was the band on the first album. 3 guitar players, bassist, singer, and drummer. I would kind of sad. This kind of said they had a little bit of a like maybe an Opeth, a groove, hardcore, thrashy, progressive metal, all kinds of different stuff wrapped up. Solid guys. I'm actually in the special thanks on this one. This is a CD called Terminate Damnation. And yes, I am actually listed in here as Johnny Metal. These guys played locally. These guys played locally here, and they played at a little venue called the Shma, SH''MA. It's kind of a takeoff of the Jewish term, the Shema. So anyway, these guys, the first time I heard them, I was like, oh my God, what is that? These guys were just amazing. But yeah, these are some of their other albums that they did. Physics of Fire, Dichotomy, Celestial Completion, I think this is called. Yes, Celestial Completion. And this is the most recent one called Children of the Great Extinction. Great band, great guys to hang out with. Very, very, very cool band. Love listening to these guys still. Good stuff. They kind of went under some lineup changes, and then they kind of took a long hiatus, and then they got back together 2022 and did a few shows here and there. But so there you go. That's my first stack.
Okay, well, we got a lot ahead of us here tonight, folks. We'll rip through this as quickly as I can, I guess.
I can tell you, I don't have 9 stacks, but I don't have that much.
And I may also choose to exit the screen while I'm going to grab a new stack over there, just because I'm going to take extra special care. I don't rip out chords and everything else.
Sure.
So I may ask you to like do a little song and dance or something while I do that. Okay, we start over here with my fellow countryman, Sebastian Bach. And this is his first solo album, I believe, Bring 'Em Bach Alive. This I bought especially because he has a bass player that has, you can't really see them. His bass player is, I believe he's named Larry, and he has green sequined wings, bat wings. And I just thought that's so cool that he is a bass player with green sequined bat wings. And I believe he also has Richie Scarlett playing lead guitar on this. I don't listen to it much. It's half live, half studio. Okay. What I do listen to more frequently, though, is Angel Down, Sebastian Bach. It's much heavier than Skid Row. This is heavy and good. I think he had Roy Z. Yeah, Roy Z produced it, so you've got a certain level of quality there. And this was also the first appearance of Axl Rose in many a year before Chinese Democracy came out. He sings on a cover of Back in the Saddle.
Okay. So that CD would be like a Slave to the Grind, but like on steroids heavier. Or something.
Yeah, wow. I don't think there's any. There might be like one semi ballad. I can't remember if there's any ballads at all. Wow. I didn't care for the next album, Kicking and Screaming, as much. I kind of got off the train here. I think this was produced by that. Oh gosh, what's his name? Bob Marlette. Bob Marlette. I'm not a big fan of Bob Marlette's production. That's it for Sebastian Bach. Then we have Bachman Turner Overdrive, just a best of. But as you can see, it's the remastered hits as opposed to the original greatest hits. And I think this had more tracks on it. But really, I mean, if you are a rock fan, you need to Let It Ride. track 5 there. Such a good
Oh,
song.
man, I grew up on that second BTO album. My brother had a lot of those early, Not Fragile, and a couple of others. So yeah, I grew up on BTO. I probably still have a Taking Care of Business 45 somewhere.
More Canadian content. This is my small but mighty band collection. So I have the 2 CD remastered Stage Fright, which has a bonus live CD and bonus tracks. I have music from Big Pink.
Okay.
Great albums, but I especially like Stage Fright for the track The Shape I'm In. Oh, I love that song so much. And then I also have 2 Garth Hudson tributes to the band, because these feature a group that I love very much called Blue Rodeo, Canadian country rock band. And I basically am obsessed with Blue Rodeo, and I have to have everything that they ever put out. Also has Ian Thornley from Big Wreck, Bruce Coburn, Great Big Sea, Neil Young. I mean, the list goes on. They're still sealed, by the way. I bought those during the pandemic, and I haven't played them yet. I bought a lot of stuff during the pandemic. More Canadian content. My friend and co-host on a prior show, Nurse Cat, once worked for a band called the Barstool Prophets.
Okay.
I kind of liken these guys a little bit to sort of like a Tragically Hip sound. I love these guys. They were originally called the Wallflowers, but then another guy named Jacob Dylan kind of already had that name. So
already kind of had that name.
Yes. So they named their first album
That happens.
Deflowered.
Oh boy.
Clever, get it? Because they're no longer the Wallflowers.
Yeah,
right?
that makes good sense. Makes good sense.
Yep. This is their second album, Crank, and their third album, Last of the Big Game Hunters, but a promo edition of that. Album. I love this album, by the way. Oh my God, it is so good. This is so good. It has a song, Friend of Mine. It just speaks to me. It just speaks to me. Next, BBM. Are you aware of BBM?
I feel like I've seen that cover, and it makes yeah. Gary Moore and Bruce and Baker. Yes,
that's right. So it's basically Cream with a new guitar player.
Exactly. Yeah.
And look how like rugged they look.
Yeah,
good album. I like it. It's heavier than Cream, I would say, but it's good. Oh, and Henry, thank you. Henry knew it was Thanksgiving in Canada.
That's right. Impressed. It is Thanksgiving in Canada. Yes.
Thank you. Heard about that. Henry, I'm impressed. And we got some love for BBM, Almost Cream. I bought that at Maxi Axe's garage sale last summer. This isn't the one that Harrison has pictured in the show art below us, but I got this from my dear mother-in-law who passed away in 2018. I had 2 copies of it, so this is the one that I got from her, still sealed. This one you may say, hey, why is this filed under B? It says Nuno. Why is that filed under B? Well, the truth is I'm actually going to go and file this under E, because this is Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme. And I think in my new filing system, I'm going to tend to file things where I only have a small solo career portion, file them with the band. But that's Nuno Bettencourt. And this is a much more like pop punk, much more pop punk. More Canadian content. We have Big House. There's a country band called Big House, but this is not them. This is a rock band. I believe they were from Alberta. And they started as a punk band and kind of went and skewed into a hard rock direction. And it is so good. It is so good. It doesn't sound generic. It doesn't sound like other bands. This track, LA, it's amusing to me. It's a great track, but it has kind of like the spoken word intro, where the lead singer is calling up his girlfriend, and his girlfriend answers, Jack? And, well, the lead singer's name isn't Jack, so he goes and does this little shtick where he goes, Jack? Jack who? Jack Nicholson? Jack Plants? Jack who? And it's just a really great pop punk song. Great band. That's a Hugh Syme album cover, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Produced by David Bendeth. I can't say enough good stuff about Big House. They just never got a break. Another big band is Big Sugar, featuring Gordie Johnson. This is Canadian blues rock. And incidentally, they covered Let It Ride by BTO on one of their albums. I only have a small Big Sugar collection. I only need the greatest hits, essentially. And I just happen to have a CD single as well, which I tend to buy them if I find them.
Sure.
Another Canadian band, Big Wreck, featuring America's Ian Thornley. But this is the remastered edition with 2 bonus tracks. And I've been listening to a lot of my B section this week, and I gave this a listen again. And these bonus tracks are great. Some of them are better than the album tracks. Oh shit. Well, that was back in 92, not exactly the Beach Boys prime. And apparently I'm a rebel because of the way I file. And concert with, yeah, see, that's the thing. Probably without Brian in 92. Okay. Finishing off this stack. Another CD that I should probably refile, but under C. This is the $1 Billion Babies. That's the original Alice Cooper group.
Yeah. Right.
This is a 2 CD set, but there's a 3 CD set out there that I would like to get. So if that ever passes or comes my way, I will pass this along to another listener. It's okay. It's okay.
I think I saw a vinyl edition of one of their albums at my local Seasick record store just a few days ago. I almost picked it up, but
I believe
I don't know if I will.
I believe there is a vinyl edition. That's probably correct. It was a.
Oh, you know, Ashley says
it's not.
They isn't great.
they isn't great. These are not in chronicle. These are not in chronological order, but there's an artist that I believe everybody should listen to. And he used to be in a band called Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
Before that, he was in a band called Caius.
Right.
And he's normally a drummer, but on his own stuff, he plays whatever the fuck he wants. And that's Brant Bjork. I love Brant Bjork. You can't go wrong with Brant Bjork, any of his bands. There's another Brant Bjork that I have filed under C because it's under the name Che. But anyway, Punk Rock Guilt.
Not Che Guevara, okay. And not Che Guevara, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Punk Rock Guilt, Brant Bjork and the Operators.
Okay.
Brant Bjork, Local Angel. His very first solo album, Halamanta, which is a 5 out of 5 star. This is a genius record. It is so laid back. It is so cool. It is so awesome. I love this album. I bought it on vinyl as well. And vinyl had a bonus track, which is a cover of Take Me Away by Blue Oyster Cult. So what I did is I burned a CD that included the entire album plus the vinyl bonus track. And that's the CD that I burned.
There you go.
2 CD thing.
There you go.
And then he did a recent remix of Halamanta as well. And I tend to go for original mixes. This is much more vibrant, much more layered, but it also loses some of the hooks, some of the little bits and pieces that I love on the. Yes, Chris, there's tons coming. You know,
not
anyway,
for me, I can assure you.
Brant Bjork and the Low Desert punk band Black Flower Power.
Wow.
With a big weed.
He's got a lot of different stuff out there.
I only have a small fraction. This is a fraction of the Brant Bjork catalog. And I have more on vinyl as well. Tao of the Devil, just under Brant Bjork. I love this title. Jacuzzi. Brant Bjork. And kind of a low-key album cover by comparison. Keep Your Cool. Again, can't recommend this guy enough. Brant Bjork is so freaking good. I'm carefully moving a stack over. Black Country Communion, nothing much to see here. I have these 3 and nothing else. But basically the first 2 albums and the live. And then I kind of, oh, shoot, you're wearing it tonight. No, sorry, you know what? I do own BCC 5. It's in my new arrival stack, which got messed up when I had to do some recent renovations here. But I do have BCC 5. I also have a shit ton of Black Crowes that we will not be seeing tonight because we're not looking at box sets. So, you know, I do have a much more complete Black Crowes collection than what you'll see tonight. But here's the 3 CD Shake Your Money Maker, which is worth it for the live disc. Oh my God, the live disc. Oh my God, the live disc. This is a homemade disc that my buddy Aaron made for me of all of his Black Crowes B-sides and rarities, which I think I've acquired physically since. This is a CD that I burned of their iTunes Originals album. which is worth actually buying on iTunes, because not only does it have a lot of the greatest hits, it has a number of acoustic renditions that are unreleased otherwise, and a ton of like really informative commentary stuff. So
Right.
highly recommend you get the iTunes original by the Black Crowes. This is a live album, Freak and Roll Into the Fog. Look at that. $7.99 used at Sonic Boom Records. I filed this under Black Crowes. It's the Robinson Brothers, Birds of a Feather.
Makes sense.
Live at the Roxy. Haven't really listened to this much. 1972, the last EP. I remember You Wear It Well, the Rod Stewart cover, being a favorite. But, my favorite Black Crowes album, second favorite after Amorica, Before the Frost, Until the Freeze, which I had on, because you can't buy Until the Freeze separately unless you buy vinyl. So I took my vinyl and ripped it to CD and made a second CD. If you buy this on iTunes and download it, it's in a different running order. This is the running order. The vinyl running order is the one to get. The second record is much more mellow and acoustic when you do it that way. Black Crowes, Lost Crows, 2 CD compilation. Basically, these are songs that didn't make it onto Amorica and By Your Side.
Okay.
Black Crowes War Paint, which was the first reunion album, has a great song on here called Whoa Mule. Amazing song. Black Crowes Lions, they went more techie, more studio trickery on this. There's some good stuff, but you remember that track Lickin'? It wasn't that great. It was trying to sound modern. But this is good. The Black Crowes and Jimmy Page, good. It's all Zeppelin with a few covers in there. They do some like Fleetwood Mac covers and stuff. Oh, blues covers. This is so good. I used to have the mail order version of that, but I sold it because this has more songs, and now I'm kicking myself for getting rid of that because that's so rare.
Yeah.
CD single for Only a Fool, a couple of B-sides, the aforementioned By Your Side album, Kicking My Heart Around, CD single with some B-sides. Another CD single, High Head Blues. This is from the Southern Harmony album, of which they just released a box set that I want to get real bad. Sting Me, Volume 2 CD single. I never was able to track down Volume 1, but again, I'm hoping maybe that box set might help me out. Hard to Handle CD single. Really weird. I hate these packages with the half cover like that. I hate that.
Yeah.
And I have another one like that, Twice as Hard, and another one like that. Annoying, Jealous Again, and She Talks to Angels, kind of a double single.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so we have comments. Ashley watching it now. Thank you, Henry, and good on, Mr. BCC t-shirt over there. Yeah, it did with a lot of people.
With me and Black Crowes, I don't know if I just got worn out from Moneymaker or what, but I just never, after Shake Your Moneymaker, I really never got back into them. I don't know why. I just something about them just kind of, I don't know. I guess I got kind of tired of listening, but I was into much heavier stuff. So that Rolling Stones sounding kind of thing really wasn't my vibe at the time. So I just never really got back into them all that much. But but Shake Your Moneymaker, I mean, that's a great album. I'll definitely go with that. So,
and here's where I differ. This is where I'm the contrarian. Is my favorite album is Amorica, the third album, and it's much more hippie, much more vibey. It's much more stoned.
I couldn't tell you a track from it. The only thing I remember is the album cover.
Yeah, well, we're not going to go there. But and like I said, I have it in a box set with that album cover, so we'll look at that during a box set show. But anyway, that's my stack.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, sorry, no. Okay, no, that's my stack. So I have to do some reorganizing here to get my next stack ready. I hope you guys have time tonight because this is going to go. Johnny Metal, I leave it to you to entertain the crowd for
Okay.
60 seconds while I rearrange my stuff.
All right. So, well, okay. So do I want to go on with my next stack, or do I want to just see what else I can come up with? That is a good question. Because I'm thinking if I pulled out the Black Sabbath stuff just to show how some of those reissues look like. What do you think, Ashley Henry? You talk to me out there. What do you think? What can I do here? But anywho, one thing I hope y'all are doing is I hope y'all are tuning into Wednesday nights little Up to the Limit Accept series. I hope y'all are checking into that. Yes, happy birthday to Jex. Yes, happy birthday, Jex. Tomorrow, Peter Jones's birthday. So the professor's birthday is tomorrow. So be sure to give Peter some love for tomorrow. So that will be that. Yes, but yeah, happy birthday to Jex, who I can't believe that. I can't believe he's the age that he is. I think he's aging in reverse. He's doing a Benjamin Brig, I think, on us. So
I just caught that.
We think Jex is Benjamin Breeding. Okay, so
let's go. Let's do your next.
All right, let's do my next stack. So this one will make Peter Kerr happy because you got to have, if you're going to do a show on bees, come on, you got to have at least one Bee Gees. Children of the World. Okay. For all of you who may not know what's on this, that you should be dancing is on this one. Can't Keep a Good Man Down, Boogie Child, and yeah. But I mean, You Should Be Dancing kicks this thing off. Yeah, I guess I could have had the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack tacked in there too, but nah, I didn't feel like digging that out for that. All right, next up. All right, this is gonna be a band here called Believer. So it's basically the same CD, but some remastered, reissued versions here. This is their debut album called Extraction from Mortality. Very thrashy, very progressive metal kind of sounding. Started off as a Christian band, and I think they kind of morphed into some other odds and ends of things. This is a CD single for a song called Stop the Madness. And they have a cover of U2's Like a Song, which is also rather interesting. This is another reissue. These first few I'm going to be doing, this one's called Sanity Obscure. So this version here is the original issue, and this is a reissue, recently reissued. I think the thing about these reissues is they come with these cards in the CD. So let's see.
Now that's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Girder Records and Boone Overstock does these kind of series with some of these. So let's see. And then this was the last of their first three albums. This one was called I can't remember what the Dimensions. Yeah, I had to think about this one. So this is the original release of it from back about 1990 something, and then this was the reissue. And
they really changed the cover on that.
Yeah, I think they did do there's the card inside of that one. So yeah, they did do they did kind of fix the. Oh, they did change the cover up a little bit from this one. So yeah, that was pretty cool to have that. And then the singer, guitar player, songwriter, well, he kind of went off and he got into some kind of medical research, and then he and the drummer decided to get back together, and in I guess around the late 2000s, and then they came out with this album here called Gabriel. I know Howard Jones, formerly of Killswitch Engage, guests on it. He was a big Believer fan of that time. But they did do another album. I never got it. I really wasn't terribly crazy about this album, but it's still good. Okay, what's next? This was a band I forgot to look up, and Betrayal. This is something on Dive Bomb Records. This was I didn't even get a chance to really see what these guys were about. Forgot to listen to them, but that's what the guys look like. Dive Bomb is this record label that basically finds these demos of bands that were putting stuff out like through tape trades, and they just never made it. They just never got into it and do stuff like that. So I meant to listen to this. I think this is kind of a thrashy, metal-y kind of thing, but I forgot to listen to it. It's been a little while, so I don't remember this one. This one I think everybody will recognize.
Yeah.
Big Country. This is the
deluxe though.
Yeah, the deluxe edition here with a two disc set there with some demos and some other odd tracks and things like that. But I mean, come on, if you don't love In a Big Country, you just don't have a heart. I mean, that is just such a wonderful track. Absolutely love it. Now I'm sorry. I know I go from talking about Mean Metal Mike. Well, we're not doing the A stuff. We're actually doing the B parts of our CD collection. So we're not really doing B sides, but I'll have to. I'm not even sure what's on the B side of. The B side of For Those About to Rock. Yeah, it kind of ran out of steam.
It's a good album.
It's decent. It's decent.
It's like this. Here's the A side up here, and then the B side's maybe here. But
yeah,
as far as doing a video about the Razor's Edge,
for me, here's Back in Black. And here's For Those About to Rock.
Right. There's a similar.
They were never going to make a better album from that. Even Razor's Edge, from what I know, I've not listened to that whole album in forever. But I mean, they were never ever going to top Back in Black.
I'd make a video about Razor's Edge.
That's another video for another time.
Yeah.
Now, so I know I go from talking about talking about some Christian rock and different things of that nature, and then let's just talk about good old Betsy here.
Oh yeah, that's a scarce one.
Well, this is a reissue. I believe this is a 25th or 30th anniversary edition of this one. This also features the Damnation Alley EP, which was the first album released by Metal Blade after the first Metal Massacre. So that's really good. This was her follow-up album, The Bitch Is Back, with the Elton John cover on that as well. And then she decides to drop the bitch name and decides to go with just her first name, Betsy, and kind of retools herself a little bit. This is a reissue that actually also came out on Dive Bomb Records. These other two were Metal Blades, but this is a little bit more mainstream. Regular mainstream, if Betsy could go mainstream, I guess, but still not bad, not too bad of stuff.
Let's face it, she had to change that name if she wanted to get stocked in mainstream record stores. She had to. Yeah. I mean, and then if you watch her stage presentation, sometimes that's she was never going to. Unfortunately, she probably was never going to make the big time anytime soon. I mean, that was just that whole the whole dominatrix thing on stage sometimes it just doesn't work well in arenas and stage and stadiums. Works great at Whiskey a Go-Go, but it won't work at Wacken too much or something like that. Okay, so this is another random CD that I don't have a clue what it sounds like. It's called band's called Black Cobra, or is it Bestial? I'm not really sure which. But I don't really know much about that, so I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay. And then as my shirt say right.
here
there's
the first, the second, Afterglow.
I don't have.
The fourth one.
Don't have.
And the Live Over Europe.
Yeah.
And of course the most recent one. So
I gotta get two.
So that's that stack. So there you go.
All right, let's do this. I guess we're into the BLs now. Now this one was just set aside. It's not in alphabetical order, but we'll get out of the way. I'm not a huge fan of Blackmore's Night. I bought the first few albums, fairly loyally, but then I realized I just had enough Blackmore's Night. You know what I'm saying? You can only take so much Blackmore's Night. So this is a nice edition of Fires at Midnight that comes in this kind of like velvety case. And then inside you have the CD and, postcardy things. They're glossies, I guess. There's Richie and Candace. And we have this fold-out postery thing. But, I bought this because I was working in a used CD store. And it's like...
Mhm.
I can't let this hit the shelf. It has to go into my collection for no reason at all. Because I don't know if I've even listened to it. But here's something I did listen to today: Blackjack featuring Bruce Kulick of Kiss.
Bruce Kulick, yeah, there you go.
And on lead vocals, guy by the name of he went by the name of Michael Bolotin for a while, but now he's just known as Michael
Bolton.
These are rockin' albums.
I've never heard those.
They're good. And check it out. This Blackjack has the cut cover like the original vinyl did to look like a deck of cards.
Well, yeah.
It has that little edge cut out. Yes, it is. And they're good. I highly recommend to the viewers that you check out a song called Love Me Tonight from this album. Oh my God, the singing is so good. Michael Bolton could have been an awesome singer if he's stuck in he's an awesome singer, right? But
he is an awesome singer, yes.
We would own all the Michael Bolton albums if he stuck to a direction like that. Trust me. And Ash apparently agrees with me in the comments. Here's a band I got tired of fairly quickly. Oh, there's more Blackmore's Night. We'll get I got tired of Black Label Society. I am sorry. Zakk Wylde. I listened to this album today, and it's like he grinded it down to these low, grindy riffs. And I have no problem with that, but it gets monotonous, and it's a long album.
Yeah.
So that's the debut, Sonic Brew. There was also an additional Sonic Brew EP there with bonus tracks, No More Tears, The Wizard, Come Together, and re-recordings of some of the songs from his acoustic album, Promo Only, Not For Sale.
Ooh,
but there it is. Then he did a remixed 20th anniversary edition of the album, which I listened to this week, and it's got some different bonus tracks, Black Pearl and Spoke in the Wheel. It's a long album, guys. That's a lot of Black Label Society, and I think this is probably the second one. Hangover Music. Black Label Society, Stronger Than Death. I could swear I had another one that was an acoustic album, but it seems to be gone. Oh no, this is the acoustic album. Sorry, I got that backwards. This is probably the second album, and this is the acoustic one. No, this is actually okay. This is more like his solo album, Book of Shadows. That's what this is more like.
Right.
So that's the Black Label Society. Now we're back to Blackmore's Night, and I don't even remember having this, but this is a promo of the double live Pastime with Good Company, I guess. I that's how often I listen to Blackmore's Night. I didn't know I own it, and I'm not even sure what it is, but I assume it's a double live promo, double live.
Just so y'all know, folks, the curse is real.
The curse is totally real. The second album, Under a Violet Moon, with a cute little pink cover that I stole from something else. Don't know which number album that is, but that's a curse. I think this was given to me. I wouldn't have bought this. Winter Carols. Right. I've never listened to it. I apologize to whoever sent this to me. I think it might be my friend Boppin who sent this to me. I've never listened to it. I apologize. The only Blackmore's Night I listened to is the debut, which is great. I love this album, Shadow of the Moon. I spent a lot of time I was living in an apartment with my best friend, and I spent a lot of time in the basement playing Nintendo 64 James Bond GoldenEye with this album playing. This album and Virtual 11 by Iron Maiden. So those two are intertwined in my brain forever, for life.
I have yet to listen to any of that Blackmore Night stuff, so I've never checked any of that out. But then again, I'm not very deep in the Deep Purple family, so
Ash. Well, I hate to say it, I got a large Bon Jovi section, but it looks like we're into the Black Sabbaths now. We're getting into the Sabbaths. This is Reunion. Nothing special about it, just the standard digipack of
Right.
Reunion. Cross purposes, nothing special about it. What I did was I made a bonus disc again with the Japanese bonus track on it. But then I actually got the Japanese version, which we'll run into soon. Nice bootleg here. Ian Gillan, Black and Purple.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice bootleg. And that's Bev Bevan right there on the
Yep,
front.
I remember he played drums during that time period.
Proof that you can make a CD over 80 minutes long. Black Sabbath, The Sabbath Stones is ever so slightly over 80 minutes. And it's a really cool greatest hits that covers everything from Headless Cross to Forbidden, but then it also has some bonus tracks: Disturbing the Peace from Born Again, Heart Like a Wheel from Seventh Star, and The Shining from Eternal Idol. So you get a really nice cross sampling of the later Black Sabbath. But the real reason to buy this is to get Loser Gets It All, which was a Japanese bonus track from Forbidden and the best song on the album. I cannot get this CD to rip. This is a 2 CD. We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll remaster.
Wow.
I can't get it to rip. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Somebody, Mike asked about the B-sides to Heaven and Hell. Well, they are on here, my friend. They are on here, and I will tell you the live version of Heaven and Hell, the really long version, is great. There's also a mono version of Lady Evil, some other live stuff, Children of the Sea, Neon Nights, Heaven and Hell, Die Young. Great stuff. Absolutely great. Past Lives. This is the deluxe edition that comes with a guitar pick, which is carefully, hopefully, never. Yeah, there it is. There's the guitar pick.
Nice.
This is basically Live at Last reissued with a bonus disc. That's basically what that is.
Right.
2 copies of The End by Black Sabbath, the live album, because one of them had like some acoustic bonus tracks, and one of them, there's different bonus tracks, is what I'm saying. There's different stuff. I haven't played these. I played them once. I ripped them to the computer. That's it. I haven't done anything. Sorry. And of course, The End EP, which was half live and half unreleased tracks from the final Black Sabbath album 13, which I do have, but we will not be seeing tonight because I own that in actually 2 box sets. My favorite album of all time, Born Again, deluxe edition. This has The Fallen and a live disc. It's really good. And we understand there's a remix coming soon. Deluxe debut album by Black Sabbath. A lot of good demo stuff on here. Some people get bored by demo stuff, but I don't.
Well, if you're like me with the Zeppelin stuff, it's like there was always all those extra mixes and stuff. I'm like, what was the difference? Maybe to Jimmy Page, he knows the difference, but I couldn't tell the difference.
I can usually tell the difference. Like one instrument's not there. I kind of listen to for hooks that I like, and if they're there or they're more prominent.
Yeah.
These are kind of mixed up in order, but Nativity in Black, the tribute album.
Great album. Yep.
Great album. That one. Need to make some room here. I file these under B. I'm sorry, but I do. It's basically Black Sabbath. It's Heaven and Hell, but it's Black Sabbath. And this one I put in a little bonus disc with the iTunes bonus tracks. I Live and Die Young Live. And I have an ongoing dispute with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Ralph Vitale from the Rock Shop with Ralph, who insists that Dio never used any backing tapes, any kind of vocal assistance. Well, listen to this, and I apologize to all the Dio fans on there, but you can hear 2 Ronnies. You can hear Ronnie singing lead, and you can hear Ronnie singing backing vocals. What I've been told is that it's the keyboard player Scott Warren triggering the Ronnie voice samples, but to me, that's still backing tapes, and I apologize, but that's a fact. Just listen to it with your own ears. You can hear 2 Ronnies. This, on the other hand, is much more live and much more rare. This is a limited numbered, and I don't know what number without opening it. I don't want to take it out of the bag, but it's a limited number live at Hammersmith, which was later included as the bonus disc on Mob Rules. Oh, and here's another one that I file under B, Heaven and Hell. Ooh, that's Dusty. Heaven and Hell double live. This is what set off the Heaven and Hell thing in the first place. It's the Dio Years compilation, which had 3 new songs on here, which were the first new Sabbath material since Forbidden. there was a long gap. Speaking of which, this is the Forbidden Rough Mix bootleg. Very nice album cover there, though. Very Never Say Die. I love it. I love it. That's a great cover. And here's the original Forbidden as well. Of course, Forbidden Remixed is out in the box set that we're not going to be taking a look at tonight. Here's that Japanese Cross Purposes, though. This has a bonus track that is not in that box set. What's the use? At least I don't think it's in that box set. Might be wrong. But anyway, I bought this for What's the Use. Actually, I bought this live on my show many years ago. Black Sabbath Tear. Fantastic Tony Martin album. This has a bonus disc that I burned myself from the 12-inch singles, of which there were 2. Same with my copy of Headless Cross. There's a bonus disc in there that I burned from the 12-inch singles.
What's the Use is featured on, because I just looked on my iTunes. It's on there.
That's still a beautiful Japanese CD, though. I mean, I love that album. It's a great album. Eternal Idol, which is not in the Anno Domine set.
Correct.
Very nice version with the Ray Gillen sung.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking that up sometime.
Worth it. Speaking of Ray Gillen, this is the Ray Gillen Years bootleg. It's almost impossible to read that track listing on the back, even up close.
Yeah, you can't even see there. Wow.
But very nice bootleg. This has demos from Seventh Star. No, this is all live. That's all live. Never mind. That's all live. Dehumanizer Deluxe. Very, very nice. You get the full thing, all the B-sides, and the 2 versions of Time Machine. To boot, I have the CD single for TV Crimes, but only one of the 2 parts, and these seem to be coming loose. A little bit of hot glue will fix that up real good. There is the deluxe Dusty 7th Star. This love
7th Star.
This has another live disc with Ray Gillen. Really good
stuff.
And there's the aforementioned Mob Rules Deluxe, which has live at Hammersmith, and the heavy metal soundtrack version of the title track. And then we have this is the Masters of Reality, which has a bonus track here, Weevil Woman. Worth getting. And I miss when they used to do these slipcases and then they cut them for budgetary reasons. And my final of the Black Sabbath Deluxe, and something still very valuable today because it includes something that's not on the reissues that have come since. Paranoid 3-disc. This is 3 discs. It comes with a DVD with the original quad mix, quadraphonic from the 1970s. 1974, it says. Now, I've heard people say, oh, who cares? It's a crappy mix. It doesn't matter if it's a crappy mix. Now you can get the quad mix. Now you can get it, and you can play it without special equipment except for your regular home stereo surround sound system, you know?
I think that quad mix is in the Super Deluxe set that they came out with.
It's what you call a fold down mix, which is when they take the 4 channels and fold, which I want. Don't get me wrong, I want that. But they fold down the 4 channels into 2. Whereas this, I can put in my DVD player, hit play, and get the actual quad mix that Stoners in 1974 used.
I think I may have that version too, so I'll have to look at it at some point.
If you have a surround sound system, it is absolutely.
Well, I don't.
Unfortunately, you need that to play it. But you know, a lot of bands, not to take up too much of my time here, a lot of bands are releasing 5.1 mixes of their albums in super deluxe box sets. I believe Dream Theater are doing this with their new album. They've done it with a number of their past albums. So for those who have that kind of setup to listen to a 5.1 mix, why not listen to an old school quad mix? I just got $1 Billion Babies quad mix. I can't wait to hear that. And that's it for that stack. Okay. I'm going to consolidate everything down that I have left into 3 stacks. We've hit almost 8 o'clock. We've been here for an hour. I'm surprised people are still watching. Do you want to take a quick break before we go forward?
Well, we could break.
Okay.
If you need to move some stuff around. My stacks are my last stacks are pretty small, so
I need to take a break because I need to hydrate.
Sure.
Let's play let's play a couple of commercials, shall we? Let's play some commercials. We'll be back in like 3 minutes.
How come they never had me do a Pepsi commercial? Don't you think I'd do a great Pepsi commercial?
Well, I would guess that they want to have a very squeaky clean image, and the blood could be confused with Pepsi, perhaps. We don't want it, liquid.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Got to be
so.
separate.
But I mean, like after a hard day of slaughtering things on stage, I always get a little dry, and I like Diet Pepsi. Why Diet Pepsi? Because it tastes so good.
Hey, look, we'll send this to our sponsors. You never know. That was beautiful. You did that beautifully.
I think I did that very well.
Wow. Who thought this was who thought this was a good idea to make?
You gonna take some stills at all?
If you'd like me
I
to.
think you should take some stills too.
This is
Take some stills.
there we go.
It's I'm stuck.
Uncalled for, my friend.
Did you get that?
I did.
Good day, it's Mike from Grab a Stack of Rock. And yes, today we're flogging the shirts again from tpublic.com. We've got brand new Grab a Stack of Rock and Tim's Vinyl Confession shirts in this bag. You can also get Visions in Sound and Too Loud, Too Old Music shirts at tpublic.com. But TeePublic just introduced their new tie-dye shirts, and I can't wait to see what that looks like. But I'm going to make you wait a minute. Jen ordered one of these for herself. Good taste. That's a nice shirt. And here is the brand new tie-dye from tpublic.com. That looks sweet. Let's see what it looks like on me. Oh, does it ever look awesome? The Grab a Stack of Rock logo looks great on tie-dye. Let's see what the TVC shirt looks like. Here is the TVC MTV homage logo. This is done by Matt Phillips. Really good looking shirt right there. Grab a Stack of Rock, Tim's Vinyl Confessions, Too Loud, Too Old Music.com. Yeah, who wouldn't want their own John T. Snow Too Loud, Too Old Music.com t-shirt? I got a couple, and I gotta get me one of these sweet Robert Daniels Visions in Sound shirts from tpublic.com. Well, look at that. There's another one that Jen must have ordered. There we go. The sleeveless. We're going to call this design the Jex Russell. You can get them all at tpublic.com. All right, we are back for the final lap, we hope. We're going to do some more rounds and finish off the B section. I just looked. I got tons of great stuff still to come. So,
Well, when you started going through all the Sabbath stuff, I went and grabbed my thing. So this is a 2-disc set.
yeah, that's nice.
Paranoid. This is just this one.
That's
This
the
one is. This is just a 2-disc one. This does not have this does not have a bonus third disc like yours does. So no, this one is just a 2-disc. So you made me think about that. So there's a Master of Reality.
Yep.
Kind of deluxe. 4 just a regular Sabbath Play Sabbath, Sabotage, a 1-disc version of We Sold Our Souls, Technical Ecstasy.
I love that album.
This is why, and of course that's why I didn't really pull those out, because I'm like, this is all stuff we all have. Everybody's got this kind of stuff, so I didn't want to take up too much time on that. Anyway, this is I'm going to breeze through most of this last little bit here. I have like another stack on the floor, but I'm not going to bother with it because it's like one band's project, so that's a lot of stuff. But okay, Blessed by a Broken Heart. Very this is heavy. This is a very heavy album. Kind of like that Becoming the Archetype band I mentioned earlier. Kind of has that progressive metal, groovy kind of sound. Real heavy guttural vocal kind of stuff. I think we've talked about these guys a few times.
Yep. They're in my next stack.
So, of course, the classic first album that I absolutely love, even though I know a lot of people hate some of the production on it, I still think it's an amazing album. Of course, there's Nothing But Trouble with the
Nice.
Japanese version with an extra track to it.
Nice.
And yes, I did put this with the Blue Murder, but it's a John Sykes Out of My Tree. This is a 2-disc set. I forget what's on the second disc.
That can't be common.
No, it's a Japanese edition. I can't for the life of me, and I can't read Japanese, so I'm not going to try and figure that out. Symbol Remains, Blue Oyster Cult, Booze Hounds. This is kind of a fun album. This is like they only released just this one album. I think I got this. I don't know if I got this from Dive Bomb or if I got this from some other odd label, but this is kind of a punky album, but I kind of dug it. It's pretty fun. These two, Lincoln Brewster, guitar player, he actually played on the 1994 tour for Steve Perry.
Wow.
And then there's his second album. He would go on to go into ministry and do worship music. So this obviously was a signed copy that when I met him at a show. So that was pretty cool to get to see him play long time ago.
Yeah.
How about a little Damon Johnson with Brother Kane?
That's
a good album.
It's coming again. Yeah. That's the second album.
Yes, I believe it. Yeah, and I just listened to this again. I was like, man, golly, Damon Johnson's so good.
One of the best albums of 1995.
Yes, I would agree. Okay, so this is another Dive Bomb thing. Bugsy.
I like the cover.
Okay, so let's check these out. So this is called Plan B. This is Center of Attraction, and She's the One. So what's Bugsy? So these guys kind of give me they were around from like 1985 to 1995 out of Pennsylvania, Jersey area. They give me kind of a Bad English meets Bon Jovi meets the ASAP Project meets a couple of other sounds. Very, very hard rock AOR sound. I thought they were really good crafted songs from what I've been listening to it. Haven't listened to these in a little while, so I had to really revamp it, and really worth checking out. You could probably go on Dive Bomb Records and probably find their stuff for, I think they're trying to get rid of them kind of cheap. I think maybe, I don't know, but they're worth checking out. Good band.
The album cover was a little on the suggestive side.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I thought you were going to say they sounded more like Poison based on that album cover.
And then see, there's the back sides of it.
We know what they're about lyrically, I guess.
Not so much. I did. I mean, some of it maybe, but not all of it. Not
so
all
the
of it
image
was that.
does not match the music, is what you're saying.
Not completely. No, like I said, it has that hard rock AOR kind of sound. But I like it. No, I wouldn't go as far as saying Poison. No. Okay, so this next little bit, Burlap to Kashmir.
Huh.
All right, now this is a good one. So these guys kind of have they mix a lot of Greek folk, acoustic rock kind of vibe to their sound. I had the privilege to see these guys in concert back in 1999, and they were just absolutely amazing. Just very fluid guitar playing, very, very fun rhythms, and just really good stuff. This album is so good. I absolutely adore this album. It's called Anybody Out There. This is a live EP they did called Live at the Bitter End. Let's see. This is the singer. This was a solo album he did called Me Died Blue. This was a self-titled they did around 2011. And then this was another album they did called Freedom Souls, signed by a couple of the guys. This was a special, I think they did that on like Kickstarter, kind of a deal like that. Really good band, worth checking out. Butterfly, these guys are from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, I love the cover.
Yeah, very cool cover here. Very stoner rock. Definitely that 70s stoner rock vibe. About the best way I can really describe that. So that one's worth checking out. I saw some ads on the thing. I'll give them a shot. I have like one other stack, and it's all basically one band, all of their side projects. I don't even know if I probably won't get all that out, but we'll see. But the last set, well, we'll see. This is the last one in this stack. I think I may have talked about this guy.
Yeah.
So I've known this album almost all my entire life. It started off with an 8-track of it that my parents had gotten, and I would just listen to this thing incessantly. And I got to a point where I literally memorized some of the stuff, and some of these things are, like, it's all spoken poetry basically. And he's just praising his weight. Victor Bono's a big guy. And so when you listen to Fat Man's Prayer, he's like saying, Lord, my soul is ripped with riot, incited by my wicked diet. We are what we eat, said a wise old man. Lord, if that's true, I'm a garbage can. I want to rise on Judgment Day, that's plain. But at my present weight, I'll need a crane. So he goes on about it. He just keeps going on and on and on. But there's just so many good things on this. It's very funny. It's pretty clean for the most part. There's a couple things that like kind of catches you off guard a little bit, but it's in a good way. But I love this. This has just been something that I literally have had and have been familiar with all my life. And of course, to find it on CD, and then eventually even found a vinyl copy of it, which I had to have. And so, yeah, I'd love to find the 8-track again. I don't know whatever happened to our 8-track version, but so there you go. So I will let you go with your last stack. I'll probably leave my Bride stuff and Dale Thompson stuff. We'll see what kind of time we have.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Dig
Black
in.
Star Riders, basically Thin Lizzy. Like the first album, second album never clicked, so I stopped there. These are both 2 CD editions. Now, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. This is the Blaze Bayley. We have the Blaze Bayley. War Within Me, freaking great album. I gave that 5 out of 5 stars. Love that album. Alive in Poland, very rare. Harrison advised me to buy this, and there was a good reason for it. It's incredible. Very hard to find, though. As live as it gets. Another double live, but a very different track listing. I've reviewed these things in detail on my website. He does a great cover of Dazed and Confused on here. Blood and Belief, very heavy Blaze Bayley album. Like it comes across in that album cover. Almost looks like, death metal there. 10th Dimension with bonus disc, very good album. But my favorite remains his debut, Silicon Messiah. Oh, good album, great riffs, an underrated singer and performer, Blaze Bayley. Okay, next. Blind Melon. Yes, I own a couple Blind Melons. I guess I felt like I needed to own the greatest hits. That's a good collection. It's one of these budget collections. But what I really like is their third album, Nico, the one that came out after Shannon Hoon passed. And it's basically a compilation of unreleased tracks. And there's one here that's actually just a demo that he sang into an answering machine. Like he had an idea for his song. He was on tour on the road. He called his answering machine at home, played this song until the thing beeped and the tape cut off. And then he at least had a tape of it. This is a great album. I'm not a Blind Melon guy, but I'm telling you.
I was going to say I had the album, and the only thing I listened to was No Rain, and I couldn't tell you anything else that was on it. So
yeah, that's more my wife's era of music than mine, but I kind of caved and bought the greatest
Yeah.
hits. But Nico, I genuinely love. Now, here's a band I'm going to refile under H, because that's Harry Hess from Harem Scarum. Oh my God, look how young he is. And
Okay.
look how big his
Wow.
hair is. That hair is huge. So that's Harem Scarum's Harry Hess, lead vocalist of Blind Vengeance. A lot heavier and not as good. Blitzkrieg. Remember Blitzkrieg?
Yeah.
They were covered by Metallica famously. This album came out in, I think, 85, and it's not so good, but I bought it because it's Blitzkrieg. Then we have Blotto. I love Blotto. I absolutely love Blotto. It's comedy rock, but damn, is this good stuff. And this Collected Works is a near complete collection of their album and associated singles and B-sides. Near complete. There's a couple other things that aren't on here, but this is the one to get. And incidentally, yeah. Hello, my name is
Hello,
Blotto.
my name is Blotto.
As a personal anecdote, I wrote a review of this album and I was contacted by email by their drummer, F. Lee Harvey Blotto. And F. Lee Harvey Blotto appreciated my review, but I didn't like their cover of Stop in the Name of Love. He's like, really? You didn't like that? I love the way it swings, the way that I hit the cymbals on this and beat and that beat. Like, Peter Jones would understand what he was saying. But anyway, he said to me, he says, would you like me to send you a t-shirt? And true to his word, he sent me a Blotto t-shirt, which is now,
That's nice.
Unfortunately, it's been worn to death. But I love Blotto, and they came to me during a very difficult time in my life when my late mother-in-law, when she was sick in the hospital, and I bought the album that summer on vinyl, and I listened to it back and forth on the way to the hospital, like a 2-hour drive back and forth for like 2 months.
Wow.
Anyway, enough of the heavy stuff. Blue Oyster Cult, I figure you need some, so here's a compilation.
Yes.
And here's another compilation, but I'm not really familiar with these. I haven't delved into these compilations nearly enough. But this is a nice Fat Boy case. Everybody loves
Yes.
the Fat Boy.
Yeah.
Here's a band called the Hi-Fis. And you might ask yourself, why are the Hi-Fis filed under B? And it's because these two guys, Jim Cuddy up there on the top and Greg Keeler off there to the side, later became the founders of Blue Rodeo. One of my favorite Canadian bands that I've already mentioned. These are burned CDs, iTunes bonus tracks. I just burned them onto a disc, and this is a very rare single that I will never see physically in my entire life. But for their stuff, I have most of it in a box set. Here's the stuff that isn't. Great album, a double album. Came out roughly the same time as the Crows did until, before the Freeze.
Yeah.
This is a great album. Absolutely fantastic. But most of their more recent stuff, the stuff that came after the initial box set, it kind of blurs. So I can't really tell you too much about Small Miracles. Are you ready? The Days in Between.
With the rotten banana, it looks like, or a very sweet banana or something.
No, it's a road. It's a road. It's like a road in the dark.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see the card on there. But yeah, it just looked like it almost looked like a very dark banana nut. So I wasn't sure.
Yes. Now here's some albums I do love.
The quick glance.
The quick glance. Here's some albums I do love. Nowhere to Hear, which is very psychedelic and jammy.
Okay.
It's got some great material on it. A song called Side of the Road. I recommend you check it out. There was a very weird remix single for Girl in Green. Rock edit, Space Knowledge remix, and Space Knowledge remix edit. It's like weird trancey. It's weird, but I mean, there's a market for that. Somebody would like that.
Somebody out there loves it.
One of my favorite Blue Rodeo albums, the acoustic based Tremolo. Oh my God, this album has so much depth to it, and it's so light, yet at times so heavy.
Yeah.
The song Graveyard. I want to read a lyric that I love from the song Graveyard. Well, I love these new beginnings. Well, I love these nervous breakdowns, and I love these new skins, and I love that you were brave enough to sleep with all my friends. And I don't know where I got this from, but I have a backstage pass too that I
Oh,
stuffed with
well,
the
there you
CD.
go. Gotta love that.
Gosh, I'm sorry I'm taking so long with this, but I just love this band so much. A very rare double live in very rare double live in Stratford. This is one of those instant lives.
Yeah.
There's a second one. They played 2 completely different set lists on those nights. There's a second one that I do not have and just appears to be much more rare. And I would give, I don't know what I would give for it. Probably, I don't need a pinky. I don't need my pinky, I don't think. I'd give a finger for the copy of that. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't.
I
Blue Rodeo live at Massey, just a single disc live album, but a very good one. Again, I'm not familiar with a lot of these later albums. 1000 Arms, I love the cover, but I can't tell you a lot about it. Greatest Hits, though, this is a solid winner. You can't go wrong by buying Greatest Hits. And speaking of Bee Gees, they cover one of the Bee Gees songs on here, and I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. Damn it. I know they cover a Bee Gees song, but I can't figure it out, and I'm running out of time.
What while you're looking that up, while you're going through, what was the name of that album?
It's Blue Rodeo's Greatest Hits.
Oh, okay.
I know it had 2 previous. To Love Somebody. It's the very first song. There we go. To Love Somebody, Bee Gees. Blue Rodeo, Merry Christmas to You. I don't like Christmas albums so much. I need them during a certain time of year to kind of keep my motivations and, wrapping stuff, but that's a good one.
Right.
Many a Mile. Damn, I can't tell you anything about some of these later albums. I really can't. They just keep putting out music, though, and it's good. Very Rare live EP. That's a promo only live EP. And very nice. Very, very nice. This is an American version of Palace of Gold with 3 live bonus tracks only released in the United States. And this is notable as their album where they used a horn section. And it was so good. It was so good. In Our Nature. Again, I can't tell you anything about it. I'm sorry. CD single for Till I Am Myself Again. No actual rare B-sides. Blue Road. Live album plus live DVD. Very, very good. And finally, for my Blue Rodeo collection, we have Just Like a Vacation and 1 bonus track that wasn't on the album but made it onto this HMV sampler CD. This is so good. I can't tell you how much I love Blue Rodeo, but again, those later albums, they just kind of, it's the early stuff that you have the time to listen to. It's the early stuff that I, got into my heart, and I just can't spend enough time with all of those. Like, when am I going to listen to them?
Yeah.
My God, I've got a lot left to go. I have the entire Bon Jovi collection and everything after that. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're gonna rip through Bon Jovi as quickly as possible. It looks like the majority is Bon Jovi at this point.
All right, so okay, so let me see. So this is the rest of all of what I've got left here is, and I got to figure out where okay, this is where it starts. So the rest of what I've got here in my B section is by, let's see, it's going to be all by this band here.
Well, we know Bride, yeah. And that's cool.
So we know
that's
Bride.
A cool addition.
Yes, so this is a reissue that came out on Retroactive Records not too long ago. So this is their debut. This was and I think, does this have a card? Oh, look at that!
There it
is. It has a card. There's Troy Thompson himself right there. So so this was a pretty heavy kind of maideny straight up metal album. Let me see. I gotta figure out where I'll start stacking my stuff that I go through here. That's shame. Okay, second album here. This one's called Live to Win. Another reissue from Retroactive. Here again, there is Dale and one of the guitar players in the band at the time, Steve Osborne. So Ashley's telling us to keep going, so I appreciate that. Silence is Madness, another retroactive reissue. Let's see, and there's the band card there, so that's got some good hair going on there. This had, let me see, what does this have? This has bonus tracks, not the ones that I'm thinking of. I had a version of that CD once. It had some different bonus tracks that I thought were really, really killer. It was from a compilation album that came out later. Kinetic Faith is their next album. This is a great album.
I like that cover. That's a good logo.
Yeah. They start leaning more towards straight up metal instead of the Priest and Maiden sounding band. So this is a really good album. There's a song on here. Well, there's one song on here called Hired Gun. That's one of my favorite songs. I love the chorus. I hope you and Jesus have it all worked out. And it's I just love that line. I think it's a great song. Everybody Knows My Name is a great track on this. I love that. Love this album. This is a demos of the album for Kinetic Faith.
Wow.
Let's see. Snakes in the Playground. This was probably their most popular album, I believe. This is another great song with the song Rattlesnake. Would You Die for Me? Psychedelic Super Jesus. All great songs. Let's see. This is a demos version of the album. Let's see, Scarecrow Messiah. This was another favorite by the band. They did a lot of one-named words on this song titles for that one.
Must have been the 90s then, because that's the era of the one word.
Yes, yeah, I think I think they started kind of getting in. They started getting that kind of that feel of. I guess the grungy feeling was kind of walking in here at that point. Let's see. Sorry, my stacks got a little messed up, so I'm just trying to figure out where I am here. Okay, this is a compilation called Shotgun Wedding. 11 number one hits and misses, spelled MRS. So I think that was pretty clever. This is more of an alternative sound. This was an album called Drop. This was a
you can tell again by the title, one word title.
Yeah.
Very grunge title.
This was kind of post metal, kind of that late 90s metal, grungy stuff. But this is I love this one. The Jesus Experience. First song called I Love You. Great track. The Worm. Awesome song. Groove. I love it to death. Gosh, there's another just wonderful album. Oddities was their next one. Go ahead.
It's fascinating to me that even in the world of Christian rock, which quite honestly is often completely separate from secular rock, that the same trends were happening. I'm fascinated by this. Like even in the visual cover art, like that's a very 90s, kind of late 90s, early 2000s looking cover.
Yep.
Please proceed.
This would be their the last album they would do in the 90s called Fistful of Bees. This is when they tried to kind of sound like I think they tried to sound like Korn and some of those rap metal bands. I don't think it really went over all that well, but they kind of take hiatuses and then they come back. This one was called This Is It, where they kind of get back to some of their more 90s, and they kind of, I think from this point on, they're just kind of a little bit of every genre, Skin for Skin, Sarbamba. Again, kind of like you, it's been a while since I've listened to a lot of these later albums, so I'm a little behind on Incorruptibles. That's another good one. Snake Eyes. Let's see, what is this one? Here's Your God. That was a good album. I did remember listening to this. Bride Goes Christmas. That's pretty fun. Bride Does Bluegrass Gospel. This is actually really good.
Their Blue Rodeo album.
Yeah. Let's see. This was an EP this was called Eyes Wide Open. This is a 6-song, like kind of a promo thing. Then they had this album, which was the last one they did, called Are You Awake? Now let me see what else we got left here. What is this? Into the Matrix. This was early stuff before they became Bride. They were a band called The Matrix at the time. So that's just a reissue of that. This Lost Reels. This is 1, 2, and 3. These are all basically demos, other alternate versions. The singer, let's see, do I have yeah, okay. The singer, one more Bride one. This was called the End of the Age. This was another compilation of a particular era on a particular label. Best of Bride. This was another one from covering a particular set of albums. Dale Thompson would do some solo stuff. This is a song called Unbridled, which is, I think it's kind
cover.
of, I think this, yeah, that's kind of I think this is kind of a bluesy rock album.
And Unbridled is a
yes, that's a punny name. And then let's see, we have Dale Thompson and the Boondogs. I think this is another kind of a bluesy rock album from what I understand. And then Iron 501, which I believe he was involved with. I haven't had a chance to really listen to it. And then these last things, Perpetual Paranoia. So this is just other projects he was involved on. I just haven't really, like kind of like you. I kept getting and just kind of ran out of time to to listen. And that, folks, completes my B section.
All right. Well, I'm going to go grab the rest of mine.
I am done with the Bs. So
now, before I go and grab my B section, I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where are my Beatles? I have a lot of Beatles, and we haven't seen them. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers and hoping that in all the chaos that's happened in the last few months,
mine's on my shelf, so I know they're there. I know they're there. So
I'm hoping mine are filed with my box sets, but they haven't turned up. But let's go grab the rest, which, as I said, is primarily Bon Jovi. So why don't you tell me what you think about Bon Jovi as I go and grab these?
Well, their title track, I think their first single was essentially my my first thoughts of Bon Jovi when I first heard them back in the day. That would be a good description of what I thought of Bon Jovi when I first heard them. So yeah, not for all you MTV fans, and the first song that Bon Jovi had on MTV, which one I'm talking about. And that's usually what I wanted to do every time I heard him. So, but Ashley, I agree. And Mark, lots of stuff here that even I need to go back to rediscover. I kind of, some of the stuff I bought, and then some of the stuff I kind of just got in like mixed mystery grab bag kind of things. So, lots of good stuff out there, but so much good stuff. It's almost just, you just need to be cloned about 6 times to be able to listen to it all sometimes.
They're in my garden. They're my Beatles CDs. Okay. These are 2 albums that I recently rediscovered, because I had that shelf disaster and it allowed me to reorganize my music collection a little bit.
Right.
Beatles is missing. Tommy Bolin, ex-Deep Purple guitarist Tommy Bolin.
Yeah, there's good stuff.
Albums. These are good. Glenn Hughes sings on one of these too. There's some nice songs. I like these.
Yeah.
Tommy Bolin, he only did the 2 solo albums while he was alive. Then we have a young man by the name of Jason Bonham. So we have the first Bonham album.
Love that first album. Love that one.
Yeah, very good album. This is one of the cases that was shattered in the disaster, incidentally. It's just freaking wrecked. But the second album, I think, is quite underrated.
I need to listen to that. I've never listened to that one.
This is a Japanese edition with a bonus track, Waste No Time.
Okay.
This is a good album. It's underrated. It has an amazing single called Change of a Season. And this is filed under Bonham because Motherland is Bonham with a different lead singer. I believe it was Marty Fredrickson, the world famous songwriter now. This is their grunge album. You can tell by looking at it. It's their grunge album. Look at the grunge. You can smell the grunge.
You can smell it.
Yeah.
Smell it. Instead of smelling the glove, you're smelling the grunge.
It's the grunge. Okay, so this is where Ash may want to tune out because here we go. Tommy and Gina were working on the docks or some shit. I don't know. Slippery When Wet. Now, I have all of these Bon Jovi remasters which come with these little backstage pass laminate things, which are nice. But I'm not going to show them all. But each one of these Bon Jovi remasters has bonus tracks exclusive to these editions.
Yeah.
And the little backstage pass. CD single for Hey God. They have a lot of good B-sides from the These Days era, which is what this is. I Thank You. They do I Thank You. They do Mrs. Robinson. These are good songs. These are good versions. This is an underrated band when Richie Blackmore is on lead guitar. I Believe CD single. B-sides on this, live, Born to Be My Baby, You Give Love a Bad Name, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, and then a message from John Bon Jovi. Live at Milton Keynes EP. Bon Jovi, Please Come Home for Christmas. Bon Jovi, One Wild Night. These all have B-sides. Debut album. I think this is a very underrated album. I think this is a good album, in fact. And the live tracks are nice. There's a deluxe coming out of this that's going to have the same live tracks, but remixed. So if you want to get the remixed live tracks, get that. Crush, same deal. Oh, this is a nice bootleg, and I don't know where I got this case from, though. This might be an Alice in Chains self-titled case. But Keep the Faith, like New Jersey outtakes. And there's some stuff on here that is not on the New Jersey Super Deluxe box set, which we're not going to be looking at tonight. This has a song called Does Anybody Really Fall in Love Anymore? And it's a very different version and better version. Unfortunately, this isn't a good sounding CD. Unfortunately.
Right.
This appeared in Harrison's artwork. I am surprised Harrison owns some Bon Jovi, but I'm not surprised that he owns live Bon Jovi. CD single for Always. Russian version of Bounce with crazy bonus tracks. This is not a legal release. Bon Jovi don't get anything from that.
Bang. Say da da
CD,
da.
CD single for one. Yes. That's funny. CD single for One Wild Night. There's another one as well. These are not organized in proper order. Someday I'll Be Saturday Night. Proper legal remastered version of Bounce with live tracks. Bounce is a great album, incidentally. Here's a part 2 of that Hey God single, numbered. Different B-sides, of course. The End, When She Comes, and Hey God live in South Africa. Say It Isn't So. I was not a big fan of the Crush album. Oh, God, another Hey God single. I've got 3 Hey God singles. This one is House of the Rising Sun live. Crazy. Okay. I've got too much Bon Jovi. Living in Sin EP. That's a great song, but it had a great B-side on here called Love is War. Really good stuff. Very rare EP featuring an acoustic version of Wanted Dead or Alive that is to die for. It's almost better than the album version. This is very rare.
Is that the same one that was on like the old cassette single version of that?
That's the one.
I had the cassette single for that way back when.
That's the one, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for loving me, John.
Oh, well. Anytime.
Dry County from Keep the Faith. Keep the Faith is an album that needs a deluxe CD single for Keep the Faith. This has another Christmas song on it called I Wish Every Day Could Be Like Christmas.
Right.
If You Don't Love Me, Lie to Me. All of these have worthwhile bonus tracks. This one is Hey God live and I'll Sleep When I'm Dead live. In These Arms. This has a great live version of In These Arms.
Okay.
Oh, John Bon Jovi, The Power Station Years. There's a couple versions of this. I only have the core 20-track version. Okay. But these are all demos that he recorded when he was working at his uncle Tony Bon Jovi's studio, Power Station.
Yep.
Some solo, John. We have Queen of New Orleans, parts 1 and 2. That's from his solo album, Destination Anywhere, which I'm sure I have here. Right there, 2 CD set version of Destination Anywhere, and CD single for Midnight in Chelsea. That was his hit. Would you say it was his hit? I guess I'd say it was his hit. Oh, here is the point at which I gave up on Bon Jovi. Because We Can, from the album, what was it called? What About Now, or something like that. This is shit. I paid a lot of money for this. There's no guitar solo. Richie Sambora was either, basically absent or neutered, one of the two. It's very unfortunate, but this is the point at which I said I'm done with Bon Jovi. This is, I think, 2013. Yes. So I've been off the Bon Jovi train for a full 11
you hung
years
in with him. You hung in with him a lot longer than I did.
A lot longer than most people. This is a nice 2 CD edition of Crush with bonus tracks and a live disc. Different bonus tracks from that remaster. This is a very nice 2 CD version of Keep the Faith, numbered with a live disc and a couple of bonus tracks too. Save a Prayer being freaking awesome. Really heavy. This is a Japanese version of the same album with an additional bonus track called Starting All Over Again. This is a freaking awesome album. I don't care what anybody says. Young Guns 2.
Saw the movie in the theater.
Me too. I love this album. I've written an extensive review of it, including some history of Billy the Kid, because some of that comes up in the film, which of course is reflected in the lyrics.
Right.
I love this album. I will defend this album to my death. Little Richard on piano. Robin Crosby from Rat plays on this album too. Jeff Beck plays a couple of guitar solos. Stunning guitar solos. Oh, so good.
Yep, remembered seeing that in the theater, and I think I paid $1 to get in because it was a second run theater. Yeah, and they only charged charged $1 to get in.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that.
Give Me Something for the Pain. 2-part CD singles, one in a digipack, one in a jewel case. Remastered 7800 degrees Fahrenheit with live. All of those Bon Jovi remastered CDs had live bonus tracks. No studio, no remixes, nothing but live. These days, with live bonus tracks, but also a far superior these days with a bonus disc. And this is far, far better. And it has a really neat cover that is held in place with a magnet. Magnet. This is so good. And they do some really good bonus tracks on here. I Don't Like Mondays. Mrs. Robinson again. Crazy. Patsy Cline, Crazy, with Tico Torres singing lead. Tumblin' Dice with keyboardist David Bryan singing lead.
Right.
And Heaven Help Us with Richie Sambora singing lead. This is fantastic. Also has 2 bonus tracks, All I Want Is Everything and Bitter Wine. I was really into Bon Jovi. More CD singles from the same era. So more tracks that aren't on that. This has a track on here called Lonely at the Top, which sounds like it's dedicated to Francis Bean Cobain. Because the first line of the song is, "Tell Franny I'm sorry she's not going to meet her dad." And this is right after Kurt Cobain killed himself. There's another This Ain't a Love Song. I have a lot of Bon Jovi, man. Japanese version of Crossroads. I can't even tell you if this has a bonus track on it or anything different. I'm losing my voice. Remastered version of New Jersey, just because I already own the deluxe box set. Some shitty Bon Jovi greatest hits 2 CD compilation with like 4 new songs or whatever that nobody remembers what they are. CD single for Superman Tonight. Who gives a crap? I thought The Circle had one good song on it called Work for the Working Man. I like that song. Otherwise, I don't. Nice cover. That's cool.
Yeah.
More Bon Jovi. Oh, God. Shoot me. Because I bought this freaking country album that they did. And I bought it not once. Remastered with 4 bonus tracks. Not once. Start a new discard pile. Not twice.
Oh, no.
Tour edition with the concert. Not twice. Not 3 times. Regular edition where I took all the freaking iTunes bonus tracks and burned them onto a bonus disc. But 4 times.
Oh, my.
The Japanese edition with One Last Night and One Step Closer. I think I like 2 songs on this. I like Lost Highway and Summertime, the first 2 songs. But John, you're not a country singer, and stop doing like I'm hanging on with my fingernails to the Bon Jovi train.
Yeah.
Have a Nice Day was okay.
Yeah, it was a decent song.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It had a song. It's very poppy. This is almost like their pop punk kind of album in a way. There's a song called Novocaine that I like a lot. Other than that, this is also the kind of first step down that country road where they did Who Said You Can't Go Home with Jennifer Nettles. Oh, God forbid. Oh, this is from the Bounce era. This is what I call the Target EP, but it's just self-titled.
Right.
It's just self-titled, but it has some unreleased stuff on here. Also from the Bounce era, we have the CD single for Misunderstood. Very good song. Very, very good song. From the same album, The Distance. From the same album, Every Day. And from the same album, Every Day Part 2. And what album is this from? All About Loving You. Same album. All About Loving You. A lot of singles, man. Like, another reason I got off the Bon Jovi train is it gets frustrating to collect all this stuff. Here's something cool, and I will take it out of the package so you can see it. But this is a greatest hits album called Tokyo Road. This has a really cool bonus feature. A live 3-inch EP, Tokyo Road.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Ooh.
I love, who doesn't love a 3-inch EP?
Yeah, right? I had a few of those back in the day, but yeah.
Worth importing. This also has a live version of there's 2 solo tracks that there's live versions of. I think not Dry County. Blood Money by John Bon Jovi, and then there's a Sambora, It Might Be Stranger in This Town. So there's 2 solo tracks that get the live treatment. Oh goodness, is that another song from Bounce? No, that's Crush. Say It Isn't So. Oh, so much. It's My Life. Real Life from that was it Ed TV? Yeah, Ed TV soundtrack.
Right.
Notable for the fact that David Bryan, look, he's not on the cover. David Bryan was like injured or something. He's not in the music video. Somebody's carrying around a David Bryan standee. A promo copy of the same with a different version, radio mix.
Right.
Oh God, more singles. And look at that. More singles these days. Is there any more Bon Jovi? No, we're done Bon Jovi. We're at the end.
So Ashley was asking if you had the Bon Jovi Lullaby for Baby CD.
No, but I have the Def Leppard. yeah, that you know that. That's the opening line to the Blaze of Glory album. Very dated album, I agree. I don't know that one. Interesting. Rubbish cover. Have a Nice Day. It was a rubbish cover. No, it's not terrible. No, you're wrong. Whew. Okay, I'm running out of breath, but we're at the end. I just bought this recently. Boston's Greatest Hits. This is a discontinued version. Tim Derling advised me to buy this because there's a track on here that's been discontinued, and it might be Higher Power. I can't remember.
I think so, yeah. I've had that. I had that. I don't have it anymore, though.
Here's something cooler, though. Japanese edition of the debut Boston.
Nice.
Boston.
Very nice.
Here is a CD that I won in a draw at the Keeps Me Alive website. This is the last David Bowie album, I think.
Oh, yeah. David Bowie,
I promised I would listen. I promised I would listen to it and review it, and I've listened to it once, and I guess I'm just not a Bowie guy.
It's a different album. I mean, I've listened to it, and it's very different. That's about the best way I can really describe it. It's not bad, but
maybe I should pass it on to somebody who would appreciate Bowie more. Maybe Ash. I owe Ash. Ash, I owe you a package. Do you like Bowie? I'll send you that. Here's something I'm going to keep though, because there was one good track on it that I remember.
Oh yeah, Bright. I remember.
Shut the F up. This is Nikki Sixx and Tracy Guns. This is when Motley Crue, that brief period of time when Motley Crue was broken up, I think. Well, not the most recent breakup, the early 2000s one. Here Comes the Brides. The second album does not have Nikki Sixx, so I didn't even bother with it. Didn't even bother. Okay, so Mark likes it. Mark likes the Bowie. I bought this one CD by this alt country. I don't know. Bright Eyes is the alt country. I don't know. This is like an acoustic album, and I really liked it, but I haven't played it in years. I have also a 7-inch single by this guy. I when I was at the record store, I was not happy, and I was being exposed to a lot of music that I normally wouldn't have been exposed to, and I absorbed a lot of that, but there's a lot of bad memories associated with that period of time.
Yeah, I understand.
There's a band called Brighton Rock. I'm going to skip through these actually because we've already looked at all the Brighton Rock catalog in a separate video. So, folks, if you like Brighton Rock and you don't want me to skip those, tough. British Whale, though, this should be filed under the darkness because that's Justin Hawkins, and this is a cover of the Sparks song "This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us."
From I think that was on Komodo.
Yeah,
is that Komodo My House? I think that was on.
I think so. Also has a B-side called America. So yeah, that needs to be refiled. Now we are into Budgie. And don't you love when remasters, they all have like these matching spines and stuff. These are expensive though. These in Canada, these cost $30 to $40 a piece. But they're all very good. There's Power Supply. Oh, the debut. This is so good. And some of these have new versions, new re-recordings of the songs as bonus tracks, which is neat because his voice has changed and it's different lineups.
Right.
Deliver Us from Evil, yep. Not a Bird cover though, which makes me sad.
There you go. Yeah.
Which one is that? Is that band In for the Kill? I can't always remember the album covers. And there's Bandolier.
Right.
But one of my favorite albums is Night Flight. And I don't have the remaster of Night Flight. But God, look at that cover. Oh, that's so good. I also have the Greatest Hits and Ecstasy of Fumbling, which has a very nice slipcase with a very large, generous book. Martin Popoff's responsible for me listening to Budgie. Martin Popoff and Metallica in equal measure.
Yeah,
and
I've never gone down the Budgie rabbit hole, and one day I should. But yeah, that's I'm Metallica. I have to thank for making me aware of who Budgie is. So
well, I know you're in the middle of a loudness rabbit hole, so I know you don't need to go binging on another band.
I don't need to be going down too many extra rabbit holes at the moment. At least
the final.
I mean, look at all that crap behind me. I got enough rabbit holes to go dig it through.
Plus, wait till you see what this guy just bought in loudness. But the final Budgie album, which is underappreciated, You're All Living in Cuckoo Land. Great cover. It's got a lot of acoustic material on here, which I think is why people kind of object to it. But this is a great album, and the title track is so beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the band because it's not a band, but I'm not going to say the name. But here they are, filed under B. And I'm going to ask Johnny Metal if he's ever heard of this.
No, I have never heard of this band.
Okay. Are you aware of a television show called The Simpsons?
Yes, I don't. I never watch it, but yes, I know who The Simpsons are.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you aware of a recurring sketch on The Simpsons where Bart will phone the local bar and he'll say, "Yeah, can I speak to Al?" Al who? Alcoholic? Hey, is there an alcoholic in here?
Yeah, I've heard that recurring joke. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is the real deal. This is what it was based on. These phone calls were made in the early 80s to a bar called the Tube Bar in New Jersey, where there was a man working there named Red. And he has the most gravelly voice. Tuba. So they're like the same jokes, except sometimes a little bit more vulgar. And it goes on and on. They continue to harass this guy, presumably day after day, week after week, to the point where he picks up the phone and goes, "I'm gonna kill you, you son of bitches." And I don't know why I own this. I don't know why I own this. I guess I'm easily amused.
The closest thing I can tell you of something I've experienced with a CD like that, in Baltimore, I had a station that they had a bunch of jocks in the morning show, and they would all play all kinds of weird, goofy stuff. But they did this one thing where they phoned up a telephone operator in Florida somewhere, and they called the segment. I think they called it "Dickin' with a Southerner" or something like that. And so the idea behind it was they call up and say, "Yeah, I'm trying to find the phone number for this particular person." Now this is the mid-90s, mind you. So they're trying to find, when you could still call up operators and actually find a phone number for somebody. Say, yeah, I'm looking for this person, Nadia Slobodevokanovic. Can you spell the last name? Oh yeah, sure. THELASTNAME. No, I can't seem to. Can you just give me the first 4 letters of the last name? Yeah, THEL. And what was this person's name again? Nadia Slobodevokanovic. Can you spell that? Can you spell the last name? Yeah, THELASTNAME. I think I'm going to get you to a supervisor. I'm just having trouble with this one. So the supervisor comes on and then, okay, yeah, you're trying to find this person. Yeah, Nadia Slobodevokanovic. That's easy for you to say. Can you spell the last name? It's like, yeah, sure, THELASTNAME. No, I just can't seem to find it. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And they're not picking up on this?
No.
Oh my God.
No. Apparently, I don't think it was totally staged, but no, they never picked up on it. Well, when you say that, when you have that kind of a crazy last name, I mean, who knows?
I don't know what you say. All right, this is it. This last one's.
All right, go ahead.
Got a machine head. I still like the song "Come Down."
Yeah.
Oh, here's something interesting, John. Did you have this in America, Bush X?
I never followed the band that closely, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, the story.
I only know the one song that was that Glycerin or I that's really the only song I know by them.
I think I might be Machine Head.
Whatever.
Anyway,
whichever.
The story is you are aware there's a band in Canada called The Guess Who, and for a little while in the 1970s they had a lead guitar player named Dominic Troiano. Dominic Troiano came from a band called Bush. Well, in Canada they had to change their name to Bush X until eventually they paid Dominic Troiano a fee and they were able to revert back to Bush. So in Canada for a long time, CDs with the name Bush were very rare, while Bush X was everywhere. I have a couple of Bush. I have this one. I don't mind. The Science of Things had a good song in here called "The Chemicals Between Us," and I never liked their second album, Bush X, Razor Blade Suitcase. Never liked it. But there's the spine for people who have never seen that before. Bush X, Razor Blade Suitcase.
That member name that you were mentioning, the Dominic Troiano.
Yeah,
he was also in the James Gang.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was on the Straight Shooter and Passing Through album. I was like, hey, wait a second, I know that name. Yeah. Died in 2005 apparently, but yeah,
of cancer, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then Tommy Bolin took over after him.
Full circle. There we go. Full circle. Final CD, folks. I swear to God, final CD. This is getting refiled under I because Brian Byrne was the lead vocalist of the Canadian band I Mother Earth. This is his debut solo album, which has a much more alt country feel. I bought this because there's a great song on here called Far From Good. I found the rest of the album a little on the dull side, but Far From Good was, pun intended, good enough to buy the album for. That's it. That's the B section. Aside from my Beatles and some of my Black Sabbath and box sets, that's the B section. Good night, everybody.
And Ashley, I know you're probably disappointed that we don't have enough any David Bowie to show off here, aside from Black Star, or Dark Star. But I mean, I do like a lot of David Bowie, but I'm a very casual fan. So all the odd albums that they did, I couldn't tell you anything off some of those, albums that only the diehard Bowie fans would really know. So, like I've heard some of the contrarians talk about some of those, but I couldn't tell you the album covers. But yeah, I do like Bowie, but I'm probably I'm an extremely casual fan. So
I probably should buy a greatest hits. Just, self-respect.
I think I at least have that on my iTunes. I don't think I don't have a physical copy of it, but I mean, albums like Ziggy Stardust and Diamond Dogs, those are classics. Let's Dance, of course, that's the 80s. That's a classic album.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, I think his 70s stuff would probably be what I would be into the most. I think the later stuff probably gets a little too adventurous. I get disinterested around the Outside album. That concept album was really weird. So I kind of got disinterested there. But before that, he was doing Tin Machine, and I thought there was some good stuff with Tin Machine, which I would file under B.
chronologically with Bowie.
Hey, I had my Ozzy stuff with Black Sabbath, so go figure that. So
There you go.
But
Well, after this show, I'm going to go hunt for my Beatles, which I hope are filed with my Beatles box sets. I'm just like, I had some good stuff. That's the show, though, folks. Thanks for hanging in. My God.
yes,
I don't do
Ashley
too many
and Mark
2-hour
Smith,
shows.
thank you. Yeah,
I don't do too many 2-hour shows, but God, we're going to have to break up some of these letters.
This is therapy for us guys like us. Sometimes you just have to do these things. It's just a good BS session for us to hang out to. Yes, you're right. We should have had.
You know what? I own Beck Bogart. I own Jeff Beck. I own 2 Jeff Beck. I'm thinking there's a whole subsection of B that. Would you hold a moment? There's got to be a whole subsection of B that
I appreciate. Yeah, you talk it. You do that, and I'll talk about Jeff Beck. So yes, I appreciate some Jeff Beck. I know I've had Truth, and a few of those things there. So I certainly appreciate Jeff Beck as a guitar player. I really regret not seeing him in concert when he came through with holy crap when he came through with ZZ Top, because I think that was when I think Dusty was still alive yet at that point when he came through with Jeff Beck. So I regret not going to that show. Oh yeah, looks like.
Sorry, I was muted. Real quickly, we'll just go top to bottom. If you want to see all my full Beaches collection, Canadian all-girl band, if you want to see my complete Beaches collection, go to my website, mikeladano.com. Then we have BDI, which is Liam Gallagher's solo band. And that first album, Different Gear Still Speeding, is great.
Right.
I'm not, I gave the Beastie Boys a try.
Yeah.
Gave them a try, not for me.
Yeah.
There's my Beatles that are not in a box set. All my Beatles. There's my Jeff Beck.
Yep, there's
and
Blow by
also,
Blow and Beck Bogart
one
and
more.
a piece.
One more at the bottom here that I want to spotlight just because you've never heard of it. James B. and the Royal Jelly Orchestra. Clint Eastwood, Alan Alda. This is, remember the lounge music phase in the 90s, the lounge music trend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is part of that. James B. Was in a band called The Look People, which is really like bizarre, like Zappa influenced, funky, weird stuff. But then he became a band leader on a Canadian TV talk show, and then out came this, and it's nice. This is nice. This is funny. The title track, Clint Eastwood, Alan Alda, is basically all puns like that with a ton of cool names. Highly recommended. That's it. I swear to God, that's it. But that's we found him. We found him.
There you go. Well,
holy crap!
If we were going to go into vinyl, I could show off my. I sent Mike a song from a Pennsylvania guy named Steve Brodsky, and it was this kooky little song called "Do the Dutch." I have the vinyl. I could have pulled that out just for fun, but for if you really want to just hear something silly, listen to a song that's sung in basically the Pennsylvania Dutch accent. Yeah. Hey, now let's get down. Let's all go to Allentown. There you go. You gotta love that. So,
I can't believe Ash knows the beaches all the way in Australia, but that's awesome. And I'm sorry. I tried the Beastie Boys, and it's not for me. Not for me. I listened to most of the stuff, recently, and that's not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, License to Ill was big in my high school senior year, but yeah, a couple tracks are good, but other than that, nah.
Well, I'm exhausted, John, and I still have to write up my. I still have to write up my blog post for tomorrow to sum up this insanity. As you know, I always like to ask what you've got going on. You're in the middle of your Accept series, but you've got a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing the Accept series, and then once in a while the mood will hit me, and I'll shoot a solo video out like I did with the Kiss. A Kistry day in the history of my life. I've got next Monday, I think, with Grant, we're going to be doing 1984, top songs in 1984. So that's coming up. I don't know if we'll have a little live Contrarian show next week. We didn't do one this week. So we'll see if we do something there. That's really about it. I don't really have a whole lot else in the pipeline just yet, as far as anything new and different, at least that I'm aware of. So yeah, other than the Accept series, and just whenever the mood hits me, I throw something solo out, since I've had a little time on my hands lately. So.
And fortunately, you've been able to help me out a lot the last 3 weeks in a row. I believe you've been with me.
Well, I wasn't on that Spinal Tap show though.
Oh, okay. Well,
I wasn't on that one, but Mighty Wind was that was hoot.
awesome.
I absolutely loved that. But
and you'll be back soon.
Absolutely.
You started the show with a very good announcement. I have a less serious but still very good announcement, which is that Harrison Kopp will finally be rejoining the show on November 1st. It's the second anniversary of Grab a Stack of Rock, and it's his comeback special. And basically, I'm just going to be sitting here as he shows off his stacks of rock that he's accumulated in. Basically, he's been sick since February. So
right.
So welcome back, Harrison Kopp. Really excited to do that. And then on November 8th, Harrison and Peter Kerr and I will be ranking the Mad Max films. All 5. Looking forward to that. Excuse me.
I might be doing a ranking of the Hammer Dracula Christopher Lee movies. I've got a mood to watch those, and
do it. It's October.
Yeah, I just have to get better notes, because I've only watched them all like once. It's just been a long time since I'd seen them before, so I might have to make some notes on this one. Like I got to do my homework,
right,
as you've given me the new christening name there, but
appropriate though.
Yes.
Well,
but unlike the Contrarians or the Sea of Tranquility guys, I'm only doing the Christopher Lee ones. I'm not going to do Brides of Dracula, and I'm not doing the 7 Golden Vampires thing. I'm not doing those.
Christopher Lee is what I like.
I'm just going to stick to just the Christopher Lee movies. So it's just 7 movies. So
right. All right. Well,
very good.
As you know, we always like to go out on a song, and I don't have anything that starts with B, so we can't really do that. But I figure people hear little portions of the song Overload at the beginning of the show every week, but we don't usually play the full version of Overload, and it's a great song. So, actually, you know what? We're going to play 2 songs tonight if people want to stay tuned, because it is also the first night of Oktoberfest. So we are going to play Oktoberfest Cheer by Max the Axe, but before we do that, we are going to do Overload. So, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you on at least November 1st, if not before. And of course, Johnny Metal can be found at My Music Corner on YouTube. Give him a subscription if you don't already. I know you do. So folks, Johnny Metal and I are calling it a night. We're prone to overload. This is Max the Axe. See ya.
See ya.
Max the Axe in costume tonight with a red hat.
He's kind of a big deal.